Hey, Stegall, thanks for taking a second to drop in from YouTube and give that Twitch Prime support. I appreciate you keeping me around. Not to be a dick, but it's nice to see the best run bad sometimes. Some days I feel like I can't win a match. Other days I run hotter than sun. You mentioned about variance and playing what you like. It's great advice, in my opinion. Variance comes... Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, like, people often ask, like, what do you do when you're in situations like that where you just, like, can't... You're playing well and you're making good decisions, you just can't win a game in spite of it. And, like, the answer is either stop playing or change gears, right? So, rather than continuing to hammer on the Aristocrats deck where you're just, like, running bad in just every way possible, mulligans, missed land drops, floods, opponents having absurd main deck cards against us, like, let's just take a deep breath, grab a snack, play a different deck, play a different format, play a different game, etc. It's the best way to move on. Anywho, Naya Feather, this is, I've not played Mardu Aristocrats this season, Fusion. My takeaway is, one, the mana in 3-color decks is really bad and inconsistent, especially the mana in 3-color aggressive decks is bad. So, like, the problem with Mardu Aristocrats is that you want red and black mana on 1, and you want white mana on 2. And it just means your deck becomes incredibly high variance. Anywho, this deck, Naya Feather, we played this earlier this week, and I really liked it. The mix of Gruul Spellbreaker and these other resilient threats was kind of sweet. We got lots of different little tricksy things that let us be a little bit interactive and also kind of punch people in the face. So, let's play some match with this. See if this is sweet. This Black-Red Aristocrats and Green-Red Sarkhan are the 3 decks I'm kind of between for my event next weekend, so hopefully we'll whittle that list down today. Why Rock, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I personally don't intend to do any brewing with legacy cards on this stream. I find brewing and legacy incredibly unsatisfying on average, just because the good cards are so much better than everything else. Yeah, we played 4-color Dreadhorde at least twice. At least twice. Huh. Maybe I'm supposed to play Dreadhorde on 2 here. Because if I Dreadhorde on 2... I can play this on 3 and Defiant Strike plus do this. Well, I guess this would have just died. I would be surprised if Unearthed was modern playable. There were 2 copies of Collision Colossus in our sideboard. We played a couple of copies in the main deck last time we played this, and it was kind of awkward and clunky and worse than the other things we were playing. So I've elected to start it in the sideboard today. With Feather, it just doesn't go to the graveyard. Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm gonna concede because Magic sucks today. But I would have gotten to draw another card because it's not like Flashback, right? Yeah, if you cast it without Feather on the field, yeah, I see what you're saying. That is correct. That is how that works. It's not something I was thinking about, but that is 100% how that works. So if I strike before Feather's in play, it goes to my graveyard, and then Dreadhorde Arcanist flashes it back, basically, but then Feather gets to recast, so I get another point of power and an extra draw, which is nice. Hey, Eric, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Look at this. We got an excellent 6 here. That's exciting. That's exciting. Well, it's not that tiers don't matter, Dows. It's that tiers aren't tiers can't be objectively defined in Magic. That's the issue. I don't think anyone would tell you tiers don't matter. Like, there's definitely decks that are better and worse than others, but like, you just don't have objective measures for what tiers are supposed to mean in this game because of our lack of data. Ah! Nothing fucking works today. It just all sucks. The anti-fatigue mat is great. If you're gonna get a standing desk, would 10 out of 10 recommend an anti-fatigue mat. Man, are we gonna win a game? That'd be exciting. Magic hasn't been working today. The Shuffler. The Shuffler's out to get us. I didn't have a shock. Look at that. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. I'm pretty confident. I like the glasses. They seem to be functioning as intended. I was able to pull the blue light filter off my software that discolors my screen. And still haven't been getting fatigue headaches from the eyes, so I should have partnership set up for details on the glasses with the referral/discount code by the end of the week. Would like a land, please. Perfect. Actually, I should Gird for battle this so it no longer dies to Lava Coil. I get to draw a card if I Defiant Strike, but getting this out of range of Lava Coil seems really important. Brutal. This is a card I haven't really seen in the Drake's deck before. That's interesting. And again, I'm going to go ahead and Gird here to try and insulate from Lava Coil next turn. Alright, so we get to do that. And then I think I attack with both of these. And Gird again here. Last Drummer, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. And now if they want to block here, I get to double Defiant Strike and kill their God Eternal Covenant. The Logan Nettles build of Grixis we played yesterday felt very reasonable. Really? Yeah, I think I'm gonna click OK here. Thanks, Last Drummer. I appreciate it. All right. So not in an amazing spot, but still okay here. Nah, we're pretty far ahead, right? Yeah, I have way more threats than they do. I have an active Dreadhorde Arcanist. Yeah, we're doing all right. I think I'm gonna play this with haste and just smash here. Maybe this is wrong. Yeah, I probably should just play this as a 4/4. I think I want to give this power so that way if they double block here, yeah, it's unfortunate that that's there. If they double block here, I want them to lose both their threats. I think Monza is playable in Modern. I don't think Ponza's ever been playable in Modern. I think if you like playing Ponza, knock your socks off, but that deck's always been a little bit mediocre. Hey, thanks, Zero. Alright, so... I think I just hold on to this for now. If I draw, like, another Lava Coil, I can double coil down this God Eternal. This is potentially pretty okay for us, right? They get to coil this and attack, they're forced to chump block. So pretty rewarded for waiting on the Lava Coil there. And then they go to 3 here, and then I get to cast this, and I get to have 3 lethal threats in play. Yeah, and again, like, that goes back to something we talked about earlier, right, DNZ? Which is that we don't have objective measures for what tiers and playable mean in formats like Modern. Or in Magic in general, really. Just because we don't have good, clean, objective data sets through which we can draw from to define those things. Alright, it's feeling like an upswing, chat. You, me, and Naya Feather. We're doing it. Deck needs Cranko. Get out of here. I did get an email that I finished in the top 1000. You also get an in-game icon. The in-game icon on my profile page actually popped up before. We just started with this one, Hive, so Gruul's gonna be the last deck of the day. It's probably gonna be another hour. It's probably gonna be another hour or so. You have 4 draws at a red source. Maybe, like, cards like Shock have pretty diminishing returns, though, Burgle. Like, having that early to get it for the sake of efficiency tends to be important. Right on time to draw. Funk. Alright, it's gonna be one of those games. I think I'm ditching Gird here, because this way, if my opponent plays a Nickel Bolas next turn, I can shock it, flashback the shock. Thanks for the 12 months, Hives. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Mr. Afro Kiwi, thanks for the brand new Twitch Prime support there. Welcome. All right, I gotta restart the client here really quick because we hit the audio bug. These people are great by their stuff. These people also great by their stuff. Back to your regularly scheduled Magic Arena. How do you choose to give your creature haste or a counter? It depends on what, yep, that sounds about right. It depends on what matchup you're playing and what cards they have in play. So, for instance, against a more controlling deck, you tend to want to take an aggressive slant, so you can give your creature haste. Against other aggressive decks, a lot of times you'll give your creature the +1/+1 counter so it can play defense as well as offense. The people at the bottom of that page are people who have contributed varying amounts of dollars to allow me to stay employed here. You were one card too late, 10th District. One card too late. Dunk. The Dreadhorde Arcanist is very defiant, chat. Very, very defiant. Woof. Woof. Despite all the rage, he is still just a Legionnaire in a cage. Someone will save what is lost, can never be saved. Do 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 do. This card's like the MVP of this archetype, it feels like. Haste creatures in general, kind of busted. Should we play Gird so it doesn't bite it to another enter? That's probably a good suggestion. I didn't think about that. Hey, Dark Stars N. Thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just emptying my hand here because my opponent's got double disinformation campaign, so I prefer to not have leftovers that they can take away with the discard spell. I'm all alone, there's no one here beside me. Gideon is just one of our best tools in these control matchups. I think I just want him in and trim some of these removal spells. I think Thrash and Reckless Rage are probably the best of my two. Seems fine. So Gideon gives us a lot of resiliency against Ritual Assault, and so does Adanto Vanguard. So like obviously our draws that game didn't line up fantastically against Ritual Assault, but I think a number of our draws do. Yeah, I think so, Burgle. We're not 0%, but we're dead enough that I'm done playing on this stream. That to set a scale, that wasn't like MPL streamer dead, but it was definitely Hoagland dead. Dead enough. Dead on the inside. Alright, this is the part where I play Legionnaire and they cast Cry of the Canarium next turn and I concede. Ooh, just a rampage. Deal. Bye, Felicia. Punk. Well, they knew the Reckless Rage was there, and that was still their best play for the turn, so that seems to bode well for me. Dunk, dunk. All right, let's do that one again. Adanto Vanguard it up, if you would. Run in and get him. Did Hoplite scry too? It did, right? It was a 1-2. So, see, I need some lands. It doesn't have a Vanguard, but like the rest of it's pretty good. Perfect. Never didn't have it. No, stop it. I needed you to be 2 cards down, Vanguard. You needed to be 2 cards down, Vanguard. Kashani, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for keeping me employed this month with that. Yeah, he's dead, Jim. You've killed him. Cue ball! Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for re-upping. Hope your Wednesday is treating you well. Green source. Now, notable here that we can't currently cast Feather. Long-time watcher, love your stuff. Well, glad to have you here in chat. Thanks for helping me make more stuff. Now, one thing that I like pointing out in situations like this where we're splashing a third color, people often like to comment, well, like, you know, if we weren't splashing, we would be able to cast our Feather, and that's actually not the case in a situation like this. If we were playing just straight red-white Feather, this would be a basic mountain, and we still wouldn't be able to cast this. Been playing the Grixis control deck from yesterday, and it felt surprisingly good and lots of fun. Thanks for sharing it. Awesome. Yeah, it was. It felt like a good build. It's definitely the best Grixis build we've played so far. There's a reason a Grixis deck was finally the deck of the day. If you're someone who's new in chat and you hear deck of the day, what's that? The deck of the day and many other things are the various things you can find on my website, magicesports.net. Every single day we play a ton of different decks, and it's difficult for everyone to keep up with them. So I pick my favorite one or two each day and tag them up there. Alright, Naya Feather. Can we float back on up the ladder? This isn't, like, amazing, but I think it's the low end of keepable, especially on the play. Like, on the draw, I don't think I keep a hand that doesn't have a turn 2 threat, but, like, on the play, Spellbreaker on 3 is probably fine. And, like, this is technically a second threat should they deal with the first one, right? This is a threat in the most literal sense. Is Naya my preferred build? I don't think I've played enough with different Feather variations to have a strong opinion on what my preferred build is. Green, white. There's a good chance they can't kill this card, I bet. I think I just jam it. We are going to get 3 freed and get bounced, though, which feels bad. Gruul Spellbreaker can finish off 3 free next turn, though, which is nice. Just a Fibble Thip. Yep, sign me up. Selesnya is the Green-White Guild. Charter Course is interesting. Charter Course as extra cards seems like an interesting angle. I mean, so like the red-white build has some success, and this deck is literally the red-white build with Gruul Spellbreaker and Thrash Threat. And like this isn't even a green card a lot of the time, like it's just a red card a lot of the time.
stand by and watch. Let's try this.
So I'd like to draw a 2-drop here, so I can go perfect. So I can do this plus a 2-drop. We're gonna have this run down Teferi.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, I really feel like this card helps fix one of the problems this deck has, which is that sometimes you don't have the right mix of like things to pump and threats. Yeah, we had Collision Colossus in the main deck last time we played this plaid, and part of the problem with cutting things like Gird for battle is you kind of run low on things that Dreadhorde Arcanist can flash back. So like maintaining a critical mass of things for this to recast is pretty important, I think. Arcanist interacts with Feather the way we want it to. So if I have Feather in play and this flashes something back, Feather ultimately returns it to our hand. In the removal heavy matchups, you make 4/4s. They know about 5 of the cards in my hand. That's annoying. That's annoying. So I think I'm just gonna get aggressive here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna keep making. Nah, I'm gonna draw cards. I could make them bigger again. I want to leave the Gird in my graveyard so that way when I flash it back next turn with Feather out, I get it back to my hand ultimately. Would Feather, Gird, Thrash, the 3/5 have been good? Well, I wouldn't have had 5 power to do that. It was a 3/5, right? So I needed a 5th point of power in order to kill it. They shocked in a 4th land. Well, if you have Settle the Wreckage, I have Gruul Spellbreaker, so... Reckless Rage is an excellent draw. Oh, they have Frilled Mystic. That's unfortunate. Endo Crisis, thank you for the 6-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. So... I think we go shoot this, and then Dreadhorde will flash that back and kill the Frilled Mystic. We got a couple of Defiant Strikes here still. That was like solidly convincing, right? They had Branchwalker in their deck and Frilled Mystic, so Tocatli Honor Guard's probably absurd. They probably don't have a lot of actual removal, so Sheltering Light's probably a little bit mediocre. Do I want Shock? Shock's probably worse than Lava Coil here, huh? Mardu Feather. So one of the issues with Mardu is while Dreadhorde Butcher is really sweet, needing black mana on turn 2 is harder than needing green mana on turn 3. Is one of the considerations. Do I trim one of my other threats here? If I'm bringing in Tocatli Honor Guard? Do I trim? I think I trim 2 of my threats. Which of my threats do I want to trim? It's probably Vanguard, huh? I think it's Vanguard. Yeah, Vanguard's not stellar against their 3-mana Teferi. That's definitely true. Like, Butcher's a really good card. It's just, again, 3-color aggressive decks that want all 3 of their colors early are rough. Like, part of the reason why the mana is smooth in this deck is because we don't need green until the 3rd turn. And even then, we only need green on the 3rd turn in the games we draw Spellbreaker. We're gonna, like, mulligan and have a no-lander. But I'm supposed to mulligan this, right? I'm supposed to mulligan this. I guess it can cast whatever it draws, right? My options are like keep and never draw a spell or mulligan and see a no-lander, so I guess we'll keep and never draw a spell. Yeah, I'd mulligan this hand in July. Unfortunately, the tournament I'm playing in is this month. Holy gosh, we drew a spell. I don't even know what to do with my hands, chat. I don't quite understand what's going on. Yeah, London mulligan in all formats in Magic Arena in July. Much to the outcry of many nerds who hate change everywhere. Jazz hands is always the answer. Atomic Brigadier, thank you for re-upping your Prime support for the 2nd month in a row. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. You're supposed to draw a land unsubbed. Listen, sometimes it's nice when my psychic powers don't work out. Sometimes it's nice when my psychic powers are wrong. When in doubt, dab it out. Sure. Man, Tocatli. Actually, you know what? And this is actually an interesting thought. This is one of the mulligan principles that I apply in Modern a lot when we're playing. We have Tocatli on our guard in our sideboard in our deck right now. And the fact that this hand was close and didn't have my hate card means I should probably mulligan it. Yeah, the opponent's playing a Van of your deck. So usually, frequently, that's like my tiebreaker. Correct, Wild Growth Watcher. I didn't cut the card because it was good. I think Gideon's just a better extra threat, essentially. Alright, so that gets me back in Adanto Vanguard next turn, so that's nice. I can't do this now because this has double strike, so if I do 2 damage to this, it'll die before it gets to trade. Yeah, I agree, Navier. And that's one of the things that makes the London Mulligan so good. The London Mulligan encourages you to make good gameplay decisions, whereas our current Mulligan setup encourages you to keep loose 6s, because your Scry might get there. So that block is free. Think I just let this happen. Adanto, pay 4, rage down their board. It's a good line. It wasn't one that I thought about. That's a good suggestion. Thank you for pointing that out. Well, no, the Spellbreaker would have taken. Alright, so we're hoping to draw a piece of removal here. It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, I definitely made the wrong play with my Anarchist the turn I played it. The play a Vanguard that turn and use it to double rage their board was definitely the right line. Alright. You're at 2. Go. Yeah, move, Yugi boy. This is all I got. Toll Smear could keep them alive here. That is not a card that leads to victory. This Feather deck looks so unimpressive on paper. Well, it could lead to victory. What kind of force we got? None, apparently. Got it. This deck looks so unassuming on paper, but we keep winning with it a ton. Last time we played, we won a bunch too. It's got little tricksy things. It's got some sequencing decisions. Alright, and I'm supposed to play Dreadhorde on 2, right? That's correct. I want a Dreadhorde on 2 so I can go this, strike again on 3. Yeah, confident that's correct. So this means they get to chump block this here, but this gives it another counter, and it gives me a scry, so I think that's worth doing there. Play a Thief of Sanity. Play a Thief of Sanity. Nah, I think it's pretty right to recur the strike there. There's a good chance the Feather just dies. Yeah, if they hadn't killed it, we'd have done that, Burgle. I have a question for a judge. If I'm playing Paper Magic and I announce my trigger, but I mistakenly put my Gird for battle or whatever card that I'm triggering on into my discard pile, instead of into exile, do I still get my trigger? Are they dead? They're dead, right? This is 13. This Thrash is lethal. It's a warning, but I get my trigger. God bless. That was like really impressive. Like, we dumpstered them. I like running people down. I like running people down. How do I sideboard? Is this a Gideon deck? Is this a Gideon matchup? Kessel Runner! Thank you for the 12 months of support. Let's get you a sword to go with your shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Is it? I don't think it's a Lava Coil matchup. I think just Reckless Rage is fine. Is it crazy to just click submit? Does anybody think it's crazy to click submit? You want Tocatli over Adanto? Nah, I think we're just gonna kill hero most of the time. A lot of them don't play Hostage Taker anymore. I'm debating between this and Blackbird Aristocrats. What I recommend? I have no idea. I'm gonna click submit. This, Blackbird Aristocrats, and Green Red Sarkans are the 3 decks I have to pick between for my event next weekend. So, I am playing Magic to try and figure that out. Sure. Do 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 do. Do I just play this out into the meat grinder here? I'm gonna play this tapped and pass. Yeah, the list that won the Grand Prix this past weekend was not playing those cards though.
Those cannot touch me. I have just the trick for this.
Yikes. Hey! Boyo! That's an exciting draw. Alright, so do I Defiant Strike this to kill Narset? Probably. I don't get to draw a card, but I get to scry. That's fine.
My mind needs a rest.
So, the Citadel deck is really fun to play and generates a lot of wacky games of Magic, but if I go back and look at, like, the actual win rate with the deck, it's actually kind of middling, and the Green-Black Citadel deck is the type of deck where it feels better to play than the deck actually is, because you spend so much time winning when you actually win, as opposed to spending very little time losing with it. So it's like, psychologically, it's a very satisfying deck to play. I'm also not convinced I want to do the math required to play it in a tournament setting. Yeah, I agree, Burgle. We're on the same wavelength. My one hesitation about playing this deck as opposed to Black Red Aristocrats or the Green Red Sarkin deck is that this deck doesn't have flood insurance in it. It doesn't have a Living Twister or a Scraggan Hellkite or a Bantu to like use its copious amounts of mana for when it inevitably floods out in some games.
I can no longer stand by and watch.
No, you can't cast Twister consistently. Red cards are prohibitive. I think there's only 14 red in this mana base.
Hurry!
Hey, what's going on, Mega Vega? Thanks for the quarter of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Think we're dead. I believe we have died. Dealer's choice, Lyra or Teferi.
We need to move quickly.
And I think it's right to kill Lyra there as opposed to killing Teferi. So, I kind of have sweeper insurance anyways because of Adanto Vanguard. So I'm just going to get aggressive here and try and close this game out.
I suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
The only way that shock could have been better is if it had been a Reckless Rage, because Reckless Rage would have rebought back to our hand with the feather there. I have no thoughts to erase. What would you say are some good decks for beginner to start learning more complex parts of Magic? Mono Red. Mono Red's a very aggressive deck that has a lot of play to it. Scale of 1 to dead, what are we working with here? Dead side of the scale, got it? Opponent and I both flooded. Last threat standing 1. Highlights from today. Probably this deck so far. What do we start with? Party Bus this morning was okay. Feather's definitely the deck of the day so far. London Mulligan's coming when? July 2nd, that is when. London Mulligans can't come soon enough. Bum bum ba-da-dum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-dum ba-dum bum 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 bum. The set releases on the 2nd, I thought. The volume of games I need to play to tell you with certainty that one deck in this format is better or worse than another is extremely high. I'm supposed to be able to click submit 0 here, right? The Nerd Rage event is a 5K. It's a 5K NRG CT on Saturday, and it's a 5K Magic or Mythic Championship qualifier on Sunday. They're giving away $10,000 in prize money over the 2 days. This is where the Magic the Gathering happens, chat. This is where the Magic the Gathering happens. I'm excited for this episode of the anime. This episode of the anime where someone just has all the wrong colors and dies is gonna be really exciting. How many white sources do we play? 17? 17. 15 duels and 2 planes. Yeah, non-competitive events can use the London Mulligan starting now. This is 9 removal spells. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm really hoping the special event that they're testing it in is standard best of 3. If the new event is standard best of 3, that's all we're playing on this stream until the 2nd. Is it an anime cartoon? I have no idea. It's probably just a cartoon. Do I know the technical difference between them? Probably not. But Jeff, I love spreadsheets. Girthy Winner, thank you for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. You think it's the Singleton event? Gross. Land. Well, if we hit a land there, we would have killed their thing. That would have been nice. This deck even plays 2 more lands than the red-white build of Feather. That's fine. We've been running pretty good so far, right? Not too unreasonable to hit a couple of bad beats here. Land! Yeah, it has Trample, and I could flashback Reckless Rage and kill their thing anyways, but it would be nice to just be able to, like, play our spells. Good golly.
Innovation knows no bounds. I will return.
I think I'm actually just discarding Gird here, huh? I think my deal 4s are too important to just burn on this 1/1. We kept a 2-lander, and we've drawn 0 lands and 7 cards. They have a Spell Pierce or a Dive Down, we're dead. Super Slink, thank you for the 8 months. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Well, I mean, I guess we're technically not touched yet. God, the fact that their deck just gets back to their Kefnet every turn is so good. Let's go ahead and pack it in at this point. Onward, upwards, backwards, forward. Come on, folks, we're gonna do it again. gotcha power. Yeah, this is good enough. Not amazing, but fine. Ready. I am prepared to never draw a spell, Captain. I've trained for this day for a long time. There are no spells in sight. It's the mirror match! It's the mirror match! Vanguard seems pretty good in the mirror, huh? This is unfortunately not the Rampage card we wanted for Christmas. Start by attacking and see where we go from there. If they block, I can kill it. If I was gonna play this deck in Mardu as opposed to Naya, I think it would involve Rick's Maddie. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Burgle. You think we should try that? Oh, that was the wrong land. Oh, that's a big deal. I can't double Thrash next turn now. Awkward. There's a good chance this happens. Yeah, I think we're pretty dead here. We get to play Sorin as well. Sorin's like an additional threat, which is nice. Or like he's more copies of your other threats. Thrash threat actually seems kind of slow and clunky here. Actually, Shock's pretty bad, huh? Do I want Healing Grace? This is kind of a protection spell, right? And it gains me life. Is this better than Sheltering Light? Namachill! With the very generous tier 3 sub in the 41 month at that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. This deck's been really sweet, M-Goat. Actually, is this better than Gird? Making our things slightly larger in this matchup doesn't seem particularly profitable. Yeah, I'm going to board in Healing Grace. I'm going to cut Gird. Alright, am I going to have to fit Mardu Feather into tomorrow's stream? I feel like I am. Well, the good news is we got a couple of chances at another land drop here. Scale of 1 to dead. Where's this Anarchist at? I hope everything shakes out for you, okay, Rolk? I appreciate the 27 months. Welcome back. I literally just boarded this in as a 1-3. So do I Lava Coil this, or do I Rage it? Lava Coil's more resource efficient, right? And Reckless Rage bounces back later with Feathers, so I probably want to keep that. You think I would just want to ignore that? I don't know, it like blocks my... So like, leaving that there turns on their Reckless Rages. Like I have, like, if it was my, oh, opponent forgot to pay 4. Yikes, opponent forgot to pay 4. Like if I didn't have this Reckless Rage here, I think I'd leave their Tocatli on a garden play, but because I like have this and have Feather, I think this is fine. Oh, am I about to get Reckless Raged? That's totally what's about to happen, huh? Should have shocked this in. That's fine, we're gonna do this back to them next turn, right? This is such a weird game. Okay. Oh. Yeah, you're right, Burgle. Because I fucked up. Alright, I think I'm just hoping their last card doesn't pump. If I responded there, I would lose my Dreadhorde. If I responded there, I would lose my Dreadhorde. This is, like, kind of rude. I don't know that it's very good, but it's kind of rude. Did anybody catch if they went top or bottom with that? They bottomed? That's good for our hero. Got one more region here. Great. On the scoreboard. Let's play tighter in this third game. Think I'm gonna run it back. I think I'm happy with what I did, and I'm gonna run it back. The Legionnaire doesn't really die to shock most of the time, Burgle. Like, if they target it with anything, it lives through shock. So, like, I feel like the number of times that card's gonna die to shock is kind of few and far between. It's like exactly the turn they play it, and even then, maybe not then in the later games. Yeah, the 1/1 double strike dies to it, but like, I don't know. I feel like if I felt like I want more removal, I would bring back in Thrash Threat before I boarded in Shock. Vanguard seems like just one of the best possible threats you could have in the mirror. Well, I mean, it's got to be the real arcade post, right? They don't like let you just make things like that your username without validating it. Because this is the internet. This is very serious business. Correct, yeah, it's just like magicesports.net. That could very clearly only go to a place that's like, you know, real Magic Esports. Can't just make these things up. That would be wrong. Why would the internet lie to a person, chat? What does it stand to gain? Yeah, this deck seems very competitive. As for which matchups are bad, I don't really know. I've only played like a dozen matches with it. It's not really enough to have a super educated or informed opinion on things. I'm starting to believe you aren't even streaming right now. Oh no! Oh no, they found our secret. It's all an illusion. It's all smoke and mirrors, chat. It's all smoke and mirrors. Wow! Getting savaged by a Rester Zeal. Yeah, I deserve that, I guess. It really sucks that we didn't have a third land here. Because if I had a third land, we would have been able to collision this in response. I'm just gonna cash this in as a gain 6 here. Probably dead here. This is too little too late. Despite all his rage, he is still just a feather in a cage. But someone will save what is lost can never be saved. Given that you knew you were going to make it invincible to use Reckless Rage, you could have done it as a blocker. You're not getting beat down. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I gain 3 that way. I don't think the life ultimately would have really mattered, but I think you're correct that that was a mistake. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're still super dead regardless of the situation, but it is worth pointing out that, like, the position we were in was not one to be aggressive, and I could have been more defensive in that instance. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Burgle's such a shining example of how to give great feedback that's specific. If you've ever wondered, what does Jeff mean when he says give constructive specific feedback? Burgle's paragraph there is just A+. So the advantage with the green splash is that this archetype tends to have a poor mix of like pump spells and creatures a lot of the time, and green gives you extra threat density. Specifically, not only Gruul Spellbreaker is a good quality Magic the Gathering card, but also Thrash Threat being extra removal that doubles as a creature when you need more creatures. The mana in this format tends to be good enough that splashing a third color comes at a relatively low cost, while we gain meaningful cards from that low cost splash. We are about to slaughter them. This is, unless they have a spell pierce here, this is not gonna be pretty. Reckless Rage is not a fair card. I think I'm in for Gird. I think Gird and I are like down. We get down with our bad selves. Like, our next turn is like 10th District Legionnaire, Gird, 2 of them, Dreadhorde, flashback the Gird. They might be. Are they dead next turn? If they don't have a blocker, are they dead? Even if they have a blocker, I have Reckless Rage, right? So this is +4. This is +4 twice. So that's 8. 11, 12, 13, 14. We're really close to killing them.
Let us have a story battle worth retelling. I think you will find my notes helpful.
Let's just make sure I counted that right. So this is 6, and then this is, yes, so it's 6 plus, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, that one can stay there. Yeah, we're 1 short, right? So this is 9, 10, this is 14, this could be 15. So I think because I'm short, I'm gonna go ahead and have this kill Tamiyo. Oh, I messed up. I should have, each of these are getting +2, so I missed a point of damage here. I missed a point of damage, so this is gonna be a 6. I should have said that one at Tamiyo.
I have become too involved.
It doesn't matter. So I know this deck is called a feather deck, but this is the best card in the deck. This one right here. This is the card this deck should be named after. Bye, Felicia. Dreadhorde Arcanist would also like to be mentioned. I mean, it's just like all of its cards are good, basically, right? He feels like he deserves a best supporting actor role. Is this an Honor Guard matchup? They probably have Frilled Mystic, right? And they have the Explore package. We assume they're a Wild Growth Walker deck and board into Tocatli Honor Guard, I think. Sheltering Light probably doesn't accomplish a whole lot. Do I want... How do we feel about Lava Coil versus Shock? Lava Coil versus Shock. Shock's probably better, right? It, like, finishes Planeswalkers after they down tick. Coil does handle Wild Growth Walker. Okay, 1/1 counter on target creature you control. That creature deals damage equals power to another creature. Yeah, Thrash Threat's just more flexible and it's easier to cast. It was a good draw. It was like what this hand was missing. Definitely a turn 2 Honor Guard, I think. You had Deep Root Champion. I think that's a little bit too much green. I also don't feel like I need another 2-drop. I kind of like the 2-drops that we have already. All right, so I can concede. Are we okay with the concession? Is a concession okay here? We could draw the deal 4 damage spell. All right, we learned. You know, we learned they have Blink of an Eye to play around. That's valuable. That's valuable. Blink and you'll miss it. Yep. That's that one happened. Howdy, Nerd Girl. I'm gonna run it back. I think I'm happy with what we did. Let's get an aggressive draw on the play. Fastness is a beating for all these decks, basically. Why does Nissa go to 6 loyalty, chat? Why is her booty so big? She's very, very good. I agree. Yep. This hand's missing a second white source, but it's got plenty of good spells in it, so let's go. When your title is Shakes the World, I would expect nothing less than a big booty. Fair. Harsh, but fair. Yeah, the interface sliding my creature around almost got me. It was one of those like, ah! Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to play this other one out and make it bigger. I don't know, hitting for 6 here is pretty good. Notably still missing that second white for this feather. Yep, Gird lets us flashback coil. This is like not quite what we're looking for here. Defiant Strike would have been nice to kind of cut through. Yeah, little Teferi stops Anarchist. No, generally speaking, this card ignores timing restrictions, and then Teferi forces timing restrictions down everyone's throat. That's a blast zone. Now, they can blink and stay alive here. Haste creatures are great. Like, that draw there is just like such a good example of why Gruul Spellbreaker is so good. Just like, random haste threats are great. You know, I don't know if I have any changes I want to make to this. I feel like this deck's pretty well-rounded. Like, I'm honestly very surprised at how smooth this archetype feels. Like, this was one I didn't think was going to go places at the beginning of the season, and the details really feel like they've come together. Like, this card, there's a lot of quality cards here. Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's all I got. This one is still in the running, it feels like.